Hey everybody, my name's Duncan. I'm a co-founder and designer at MemberStack, and in this video I want to show you how to take a regular Duda site and turn it into a membership site in approximately 20 minutes or so. Now to get started, I want to just take a look at the template we have here. I've done a little bit of setup work, but I'm going to show you what I've done. Here we have a home page just with a button that leads to a pricing page with two plans. One is free and one is paid. And with MemberStack, you can have as many free plans or as many paid plans as you want. It's really up to you. And these plans can unlock different content. Now, once someone clicks on one of these buttons, it takes them to the sign up page, which is just a regular Duda contact form. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of extra code to turn this into a sign up form. Then we're going to duplicate this page, make a login page, which is going to be very similar to this one. And once somebody does sign up or when they log in, depending on which plan they chose, they'll get access to this free content and they can click on this button to access their profile. Or when they sign up for Pro, they'll get taken to a welcome page and then eventually be able to go to the actual members only content for Pro. And we're going to set this up in a way where Pro grants access to both Pro and free content, and then free only grants access to free. So as you might be able to imagine, there's a lot of different things you can do here. It's very flexible. Now, this is all there is to the actual template, to our site. We don't need a password reset page. We don't need a profile page. We don't need a checkout page. MemberStack's going to handle all of those things for us. Now that we've seen the template, let's go ahead and create a MemberStack account, which I have all queued up right here. And we're going to add our first site. I'm going to select Duda, give the site a name, and this is what members are going to see on invoices, if you have payments, or password reset emails, or other types of emails. Here we're going to enter the domain of our site, and this can be like a staging domain. So for Duda, it's going to be the multi-screen site domain. So I'm just going to copy this guy right here. Or I guess go to the page and then get the domain and add this. And this is just so MemberStack can help us check things as we go along. Next, we're going to decide if we want to accept payments or not, and then what currency we need. If you don't see your currency here, just let us know, and we can add it specifically for you. Sweet. So now we are in, we have an account, and over here we have all of these steps required to get our site going. And this is what I'm going to show you here in the video today. So first thing we're going to do is hide some content. Now, if you remember, we have two different types of content, free and pro. So let's create two different groups for each of those types of content. First one, we'll just call it free, and we're going to hide any page or any URL that starts with the word free. This is handy just so in the future, if us or a client needs to add a page, we just do that. We make sure the URL starts with free, and MemberStack will automatically hide it. Now, when someone doesn't have access, we're just going to send them to the pricing page, which we can see MemberStack says does exist. So we are good to go and save that. Next thing we're going to do is create the same thing for Pro. So any page that starts with Pro, we want to send people who don't have access to the pricing page. Now we have two options. We can go straight into memberships, or we can take a look over here and see that MemberStack provides a few different attributes we can add to elements on our site to tag them. And this is useful if we have an individual element or a section on a page that the whole page isn't hidden, but maybe that individual section, we want that to be hidden. So we can use these attributes to tag it as pro content or free content, and MemberStack will remove that from the page depending on who's looking at it. We're not going to mess with that right now. You saw there was a short video that you can watch if that feature is interesting to you. Next, we're going to create two memberships. First, a free membership, like so, and we're going to unlock free hidden content right here. Now, when somebody signs up, we want to take them to, I think it was just called free. It is. And after login, we're going to take them to free as well, so we're not going to mess with that. We're going to save it, and we're going to do the same thing for the Pro plan. Now, this one, I don't remember how much. $229.99 is what we need. So we're going to charge that every month. We're not going to offer a free trial or a setup fee, and there's not going to be any taxes on this. So we're just going to select free and pro here, now anyone who signs up will have access to both of these types of content. Down here, we have a welcome page. So let's take a look at the URL for that. I click right here, page URL. I can see that the entire slug is pro/welcome. So I'll enter that there. And then here, I believe it is pro/product. It is. So now when someone signs up, take them to the welcome page. When they log in again, take them right to the product page. Perfect. Now that we have our two different plans here in MemberStack and we have this pricing table on our site, we need to connect them together. And we're going to do that with these button attributes right over here. So if I click on this, we can see that I now have a data-membership-id that I can copy and then add to the HTML and CSS for this Pro Plan button. So we're going to do that by clicking on the button, going to Settings up here, and then going to Edit HTML and CSS. Now we can see I already have an old one, so we're going to replace it with our new one right there and update it. Perfect. And do the same thing for the free plan. Now this one is the default, so if somebody doesn't click on this button, then they're going to automatically sign up for the free plan. But just to be safe, let's go ahead and copy it and add it to our button. Right here. Click Update and republish. Perfect. Now, MemberStack has a little test button here for us. So if I try to go to the pricing page, MemberStack will go to the page for me and look for these attributes and confirm that they have both been found. And we can see that happened. So we can go to the sign up and login page. Now, to get started setting up our sign up page, first thing we need to do is just specify the URL so MemberStack knows what page we're working with. Here we have a short video which you can watch, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain this again. So we're going to say we finished this video and we're going to disable the native Duda form and we're going to replace it with a MemberStack form, one that MemberStack can control. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this for later. We'll take that with us and we're going to go to our sign up page. What we have here are three different fields: name, email, and password is just a type text, which we're going to change to a type password. So we're going to go here to settings, edit HTML and CSS, and we're going to do a few things. First thing we're going to do is get rid of these form elements. So we're going to change them to divs. So this will no longer submit, just like that. Next thing we're going to do is hit enter up here at the top and paste in our new form. This is going to just let MemberStack know this is in fact a sign up form and it should create a new account. And we're going to close it out here at the bottom, just like that. Cool. So the next thing we're going to do is click on this required field up here and see another attribute that we're going to add to the email input on our form. So I'm going to copy this, come over here, find the email. And Duda has two inputs. One is type hidden, one is type email. We're going to want to deal with this top one. Now we're going to do the same thing for the password right here. And we're going to change it from type text to type password. Now MemberStack automatically does this, but just to be safe, we'll go ahead and change the type. Now the next thing we're going to do is set up our name field from our form. So we need to add that to MemberStack here. Now we have another attribute, MemberStack automatically created it for us, that we can add to the top up here, name. Now anything anyone enters in this field will get saved to their profile. So we'll click update and close this, and now we can see the browser thinks this is a sign up form. So if I republish the site and go back over to MemberStack, the next thing we will do is test it. Now it looks like I did something wrong with the password. That's why this validation is here. So let's go try to figure out what it is that went wrong. Right here, edit HTML and CSS. I'm going to zoom back in so you can get a better look at this. Find our password and see that, yep, it looks like I'd never clicked the copy button. So now that this is password, click update, go back over and hit test again. Oh wait, I have to publish first. There we go. And now we can see that our sign up form is all set up correctly. Next thing we want to do is do a login page, which is very, very similar. And we get to reuse a lot of the work from before. First thing I want to do to get my login form going is just duplicate the sign up page. We'll call it login. And make a few edits to this form. Now, when someone logs in, we just need their email and password. So we can get rid of the name. Let's change the button here to say login. Change the title up here to say welcome back. And now, if I go and I try to edit the HTML and CSS of this form, it's going to look like the form we added previously was removed, but it turns out it's actually just above the form and doesn't display. So all we need to do is go to dev mode and see our form here and change this from ms-signup to ms-login. That is the only difference between these two forms. All of the inputs have the same naming convention, so it's all ms-field. Now I'll save this and close out, republish, and we're going to test it. Now, if you get stuck on any of this, you can rewatch this video, or you can watch this video here, which explains pretty much the same thing. So our login page was found. We're going to test this and see that everything except for the password reset trigger was set. And that trigger is right here. If we add this to a button, then it's going to launch a modal so users can reset their password. So I'm going to copy that, come over here, and we're going to add a button. Just a regular button below our form. Let's have it say reset my password. And we're going to have it go to no page at all. Now, if I go to edit the HTML and CSS, and right up here, just like in our sign up buttons, I paste this attribute. Anytime someone clicks on this, it's going to launch the modal. And that is all there is to it. Now, this is just still a regular button, so you can style it however you want. And you can also add a free text field. Type free text and then add a link. So you could actually include the password reset inside of the form if you chose to. Either way is fine. When we republish and test, we should see everything pass. There we go. Our login form is done. Next thing we want to do is get the profile buttons on our different members only pages, get these working. So let's go over here and copy this attribute, open this up, and paste in the attribute up here at the top on the outermost element. So we'll update it. We know it was updated because this little undo button appears. So now we're going to do the same thing on the product page right here. Now, a quick note while I'm setting these up. The Duda editor, this designer, will actually run MemberStack once we finish the installation, which means MemberStack is going to think we're logged out and it's going to hide some elements. And the profile link is actually one of those things. So I recommend getting all the design done, getting that how you want it, and then install MemberStack. But just don't worry whenever your profile links disappear. Cool, so on this step, we get to add our logo and branding color. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get that from over here. I don't know what this is off the top of my head, but if we go to design, we should be able to get the color. Perfect, right here. So we'll copy that, paste it right here, and then we're going to select an image, which somewhere in here, here we go. We're going to upload that and see that now all of our different MemberStack modals will be branded with our color and logo. Now, two other things we need to do. We need to copy and paste this code into the header of our site, which we can do down here under settings, header HTML, and paste that in right here. Once we click save, we'll go back over and just see there's one last step, which is enabling third-party scripts. And what that means is really turning off page transitions in Duda. This is a problem you may be familiar with if you tried to use any, just really any other third-party scripts. What we're going to do is click up here in our nav bar, go to design. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Go to pages, scroll down just a bit to more design options, and then make sure that this quick navigation is turned off. Make sure that this is gray. If we do that and republish, now that that header script is on our site, MemberStack is officially installed and ready to be tested. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now I'm going to go up here and click on create an account and select a plan. Now when I click Pro Plan, because we added that attribute, MemberStack now knows I'm trying to sign up for that plan. So if I enter my name, email address, pick a password, which we can see is now treated as a password field, and click Create My Account, we can see the MemberStack checkout modal. This is in test mode, so I don't have to actually enter a card, so I can click Confirm and Pay. And here we go. I am on the welcome page. Something I want to cover in a minute is a little bit of personalization that I've done here. So I've pulled my name from the first step and added it here into the interface. So now that I click Members Only, I have access to the Pro Content page, and I can click My Profile to edit my information, change my password, and see my current membership. Now, if this was not in test mode, I would also be able to see my billing history and be able to change my credit card right from here. Now, another note is free content, which you can see is also unlocked. Because we granted access earlier, Pro lets me see both of these types of content. Now, what you may have noticed is that these links up here weren't actually visible when I was not logged in. You can see they were hidden. Now, I want to show you how I did that. So up here in the nav bar, I went ahead and set up custom links instead of using site pages. And what that allowed me to do is expose the entire URL, which is important because MemberStack has a few different little tricks for hiding links. Let's take a look at where those are here in the interface. If we go back to the very first step, hidden content, and we click on free, for example, right here, there's an option to tag free links. And there's a little attribute here of hashtag ms-hide-free. And I called it an attribute, but really it's a parameter we add to the end of a link. If MemberStack sees this and a user does not have access to free content, then it's going to get hidden. So let's go back over here to the site, click on free. Here I have the whole URL and free hashtag ms-hide-free. That's why that's not visible now that I'm logged out. Now the same thing is true for pro content. As you might guess, it is ms-hide-pro. And another thing we can do is we can actually tag our sign up page with another attribute of ms-hide-element, which is going to hide it from anyone who does have an account. Let's go ahead and also add a login link. So we'll pull this and enter it right here. And instead of going to the pricing page, let's go to the login page. And because we added this ms-hide-element, it's not going to be visible once we log back in. So let's close this and republish. We are good to go. There we go. We can see our changes took effect. Now we have a login link. If I go here, oh, you know what? One more thing. I didn't delete this field whenever I was doing the test. So let's republish that. While we're waiting for this to load, I can show you how the reset password modal works. If a user enters their email address right here, hits send reset password, then my phone's going to ping and I'm going to have a reset code. It's going to be sent right to my email, and then I can enter the new password that I want and then log in. I don't need to do that right now, so we're just going to log in like so. And we can see up here in the nav bar that Pro and Free are now visible because I have access to those hidden groups, but Login and Sign Up have been hidden. Once your nav bar is set up, once your different forms are ready to go, your profile buttons are in place, and your hidden content is hidden, you have set up a membership site in Duda. That is really all it takes. And once you're done with that, you can go here to Members and view anyone who signs up and is paying right here, just in the same way that they can view it. You were also able to do that. We have some additional features if this doesn't quite fit your use case. On the power-ups page, we have a few other things you can do, like styling, doing a little additional styling to the embeds. You can add custom profiles where you use Duda contact forms to create your own unique profile areas with different fields. You can also have multi-step sign-up forms. So once somebody does the initial sign-up, they can go to another form, kind of like an onboarding process, and you can continue to collect information from them. You can also override the default session duration, which is just 2 days right now. So you can set this to a really, really high number, or you can set it to like 1 hour or less. We also have a feature where you can create specific pages for specific members. Now, if I were to enable this and follow this tutorial and add these additional missing information, then with each member, I'll have a section here where I can give them access to one page. And what that means is you can have a regular page in Duda, all of the normal design flexibility that a page has to offer, but instead of using password protection, where you're just giving them a password, they have to log in to their account. They get access to all the members-only content, and then they also get access to that particular page just for them. And we also have an integrations page with a few different things. We have an affiliate program. We have a Zapier app, which currently stands in for emailing. So anytime somebody signs up or upgrades, you can trigger a Zap and do all kinds of things. If there's an integration you would like to see, let us know right here. And if you use a chat app, we can help you use a little bit of code to pass the user's information off to the chat. That way you know who's chatting with you and when, and they don't have to enter their email or name every single time. Same thing with analytics. You can pass information from MemberStack off to the analytics to string together sessions and get more detailed information. Now the last thing, this is kind of out of order, but the last thing I want to show you is how I personalized the interface on, I want to say it was the welcome page. Yeah, right here. Now how I did that is I edited this entire section, this entire row. So if we go to edit the HTML and CSS and find there, here we go. So what I did is I wrapped the word there, I wrapped the word there in a span like this, and I used an ms-data equals name attribute. Now name I got from the sign up and login page. That was that custom field we used. I could do something like email, or if I collected their phone number, I could use that. But since I just want to use their name, what this is going to do is if they don't have a name, it's going to default to there. But if they do have one, it's going to replace there with the user's name. This also works for fields. So if you do have a regular contact form on your site, you can use ms-data equals name or ms-data equals email to automatically populate that form field for the user. It's just going to save them time. It's a more pleasant experience, and it makes it feel like they're really logged into your website. So that is everything. I hope you found this video to be helpful, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thanks so much.